I'm a general manager at a HVAC service company. We currently have 17 employees, and we did 4.3 million last year.
Wow.
And I wanted to know what is the typical process for buying into or becoming a partner of the company that I currently manage but don't own?
Well, I mean, there's a bazillion ways to do it. There's a lot of reasons not to do it.
Got you.
I often say the only ship that won't sail is a partnership. I will tell you, managing and leading and teaching small business folks for the last 20 years, the number of small business partnerships that survive a decade is, I can count them on one hand. They just don't happen for a lot of different reasons. A bazillion different reasons. But the only exception to that are like medical. A bunch of docs do a partnership. That's a standard thing. It's a different type of deal. Or a bunch of lawyers do a thing. But it's situations like you're in. The problem, Chris, is unless you buy or get somehow 51% ownership, you have put money into something you have absolutely no control over.
Right.
Because if you have 26%, we call that a minority interest. The other person that owns the other thing can do whatever they want, and you just have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So they could, not work much, run the thing into the dirt, borrow a bunch of money, buy a huge piece of equipment that as the general manager is a bad idea, but they want to buy it anyway. And all of that affects profitability. It all affects the value of what you now own. And if you paid money to be a minority partner and you don't have a vote, and all of a sudden that money is worth nothing because they screw up the deal, they screw up running the business, and people do that pretty regularly. So a minority partnership is a very, very dangerous investment because you can't get out of it. There's nobody to sell it to. Nobody wants it. And the other party could choose to misbehave. Or let me tell you the other thing that happens. They could die. And now you work with their spouse. And the spouse chooses to do the old boy you did the deal with was fine, but he's married to a crazy woman. And she comes in and decides she's going to run the thing in the dirt. I've seen that like a bunch of times, or vice versa. The gal you did the deal with she was solid, and her husband's a doofus, and she dies, and he comes in and takes it over. Or they go through a divorce. Now they both own 26%, and you own 26%. And now they're fighting all the time in there, and you can't run the business because these idiots are in there. And you get into all that kind of stuff. Can you tell I've seen it before?
I can. And it's really clear. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm trying to dissuade you from wanting to do it. So is the owner offering you this?
Yes, he has, and he's kind of left an open table discussion, and I really love working with this guy. I've worked with him for it's almost 14 years now, and he's
where does this lead 10 years from now? Do you end up owning the whole thing later?
No, he has made it clear that he would never give up like a majority ownership.
Yeah, so you're going to be a minority position no matter what you do.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the reason for you buying into this is to participate in profits mainly.
Right. Yep. That's true. And he actually offered me something this year in lieu of like me buying in or being given shares or earning shares. He's offered me a profit sharing program where I would get essentially the benefits of ownership without buying into the company.
That's the one I want. I want that one.
That's okay.
Yeah. He just starts paying you off the bottom line as if you're a partner. So my operating board that operates Ramsey, I move them into that role, and that functions like, we call it, it's like a law firm, like you made partner. And if I make you an operating board member, you are now paid a percentage of profits of Ramsey Solutions off of the same bottom line that I get paid off of. You don't pay anything for that option or that right. You're not a legal partner, but you are paid a percentage of what this place makes as your compensation. And as a matter of fact, with our operating board, I'm probably not the case in your thing, and it probably shouldn't be in your thing, but with our operating board, it's the only money they make. They don't have a salary. The only money they make
gotcha.
is whatever our profits are that month. We have a percentage each person gets, and a percentage I get, and we just divvy up the profits from the closing of the books the month before, and that's how they get paid. And so they treat this place like an owner, which is what he's trying to create here. He wants you to be vested. He wants you to be bought in. Wants you to be very concerned about expenses and revenue, which is exactly what I want with those operating board members. And they not only run their area, but they're looking at the whole place like a partner would, because they want the whole place to make money, because that's where they get paid. And I love that model. And if he's offering you that, I think that's a deal for you.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like a kind of a sweetheart thing to me, but again, I'm really ignorant in this arena.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's a great deal. And my guess is he's probably offering you your salary plus a small percentage of profits to participate off that bottom line. And so all this is a raise, and it's him saying, I value you being my general manager. You're my right-hand guy. You and me are doing this together, and so I'm going to treat you like you're a partner, but you don't have to pay for it. And if we break up, it's not messy.
You know, it's funny. He almost said that verbatim.
Good.
No joke.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is a good guy. He's not the one I worry about. It's when things go sideways and you end up having to deal with somebody else that I get worried. And you're not. But see, if one of my operating board members leaves, they don't get anything. They don't own anything. They just quit. They quit their job.
Right.
And that's the same with you here. So if you decide you wanted to go out on your own, or you wanted to go work for somebody else, or he fires you for misbehavior of some kind, you don't have to untangle the ownership. So it's really nice. It's really clean. And Chris, that's what you should do. That's the direction you should go right there. I'd sit back down with him and say, I get what you're trying to do. I want to be emotionally invested in this as if I was an owner. You pay me something off the bottom line to make me smile, and I will make you smile by leaning into this as if you and I are actual legal partners, even though we're not, but I'm still sharing off the bottom line. I love that. You get to eat what you kill. It's a good thing.